Hey, hey, hey. It's that time again. We are excited. Come on in, come on in. Let us know that you are here. We are so excited about our class tonight. We have some amazing instructors. I see you, sisters. Let's get our notepads ready. Let's go ahead and come with questions. I know that this is going to be an impactful session on tonight. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. We are so glad that you guys have joined us tonight so that we can receive the information that will be shared. We have two dynamic speakers. We have Lori Pogue, who is our Dean of the School of Business and an entrepreneur, and has been so for many years and has helped other entrepreneurs to not only launch their businesses, but to help them with growth strategies. And then we have Cassandra Durham, the owner of Black Girl Candle Company. And so we are excited again about what we're going to learn tonight. So go ahead, get your notepads and things ready. And just know that if you have questions at the end, we will have time. You can always just put them as HR and list your questions, and we will get ready and we will definitely answer them. So again, welcome. We are so glad to have you guys tonight. And with that being said, let's go. Let's jump right into our session on tonight.
Hello. Make sure you can hear me. Hey.
Hello, hello,
Hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, Keisha. Okay. Hello, Miss Shirley. Well, we're so happy that everyone could be here tonight to join in on the second part of this series. We had such a great turnout on the first part, and we're just happy to be back. We are going to go ahead and dive in because we want to leave some time for question and answer at the end. Again, like Keisha said, my name is Lori Pogue. I am the Dean of the Sister Circle School of Business and Leadership. And Cassandra, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. So glad to be here. Super honored to be in your presence. I am Cassandra Durham, the owner and founder of Black Girl Candle Company, where we create products that warm your heart and stir your soul.
All right. I love it. So we are going to briefly pull up the slide last month. So we went over the do's and don'ts. We are going to be talking about, hey, Regina, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons tonight. But we'll just have this up here, the do's and don'ts for a second. If you all just want to kind of read through them. And then, of course, if you want to go back and rewatch this broadcast, to really, really look at these, you can in greater detail. But while we're on this slide, Cassandra, was there anything in particular for the do's that, really just stuck out for you that you wanted to just kind of hit back on tonight before we move on to the next?
Absolutely.
Slide?
Absolutely. Build your team.
Yes.
Build your team. You will clearly understand. It's funny how a lot of times we paint entrepreneurship as a solo activity, right? And if you're doing it by yourself, you're gonna get burnt out. It's gonna make you crazy. The biggest thing that I've learned is to build a team. Even the Bible tells you that you're not meant to be alone. You need somebody that can pour into you, that you can pour into, somebody that you can run those crazy ideas through. You, sis, you need a team. You need a team.
Right.
You need some help.
That's right. And one of my favorite ones on this list was staying organized and just keeping track of everything. I had a friend of mine reached out this week and was just asking about, finding out about more grants for her business. And, after we kind of started talking a little bit, one of the things that we discovered was that, she wasn't organized. She couldn't find her tax returns right off, and all of these things that certain the government or whatever the company or business is or nonprofit is that is going to be awarding you a grant, things that they need for you to have readily available. So, be about your business, stay organized, and, be able to pull out them receipts or whatever you need when you need it, so you won't miss out on the opportunity. Have your license ready, or, whatever it is that you need, your insurance policy, whatever it is you need to be able to be effective and operate in your business. And then, Cassandra, was there anything on the don'ts that really stood out that you just wanted to kind of point out before we move on?
Yeah, the heart of me is to help women to understand that there's no such thing really as failure, and that don't take your business mistakes. A lot of times we think because you didn't hit a certain revenue number, or you didn't hit a certain amount of clients, or you didn't do this, that, and the third, that you failed. You did not fail, sis. Okay, we come against that right now in the name of Jesus. You did not fail. Okay, your business mistakes don't determine your greatness. You have to learn from them. You got to understand, entrepreneurship is constantly learning, being able to pivot, go with the flow. You didn't fail, sis. It wasn't a bad idea. Sometimes you need to go back and look at it and rework it. Business mistakes, don't take them. Don't say I'm not doing this no more because you had a mistake. All right, learn from it, move on from it. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, that's so good that you said that. And I think another really good point that's down there is, as far as, don't rely on your services without having a strategy. And I feel like so many people nowadays feel like, okay, I got me a website and I've done a photo shoot, and let's do this. Let's get in business. It's so much more than just having a website or Instagram page and a photo shoot. After them cute pictures, people get tired of looking at them. And, after that website gets built and there's nobody visiting it, you're going to have to get you a strategy and get you a game plan together. So, you can have services, but services without a strategy is nothing. So that's one thing there. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to move on to our next slide for tonight. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons tonight. I see we have a lot more ladies join us. Hey, Keisha, and I saw Danielle get on as well. Hello, ladies. So tonight we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of entrepreneurship. And, I guess I can get us started off. Cassandra and I kind of normally tag team these, but we do have somebody monitoring the chat. So in the comments, so if there's something that you want to say, we're looking at those. Or if there's a question that you want to ask while we're on something, we can take that. So you have started out in this entrepreneur life. Pat yourself on the back. Girl, you doing it. Or at least you're starting to do it one. So, but the most exciting thing about this life is you get to finally live out your passion. So, you've left that full-time job, or either you're still on that full-time job, but you're stepping out on faith for your business. And, that's one of the best things about being an entrepreneur, is that you can do something that you're passionate about and be able to make a profit on it. So that's definitely a plus.
You know what, Laura, I was just sitting here thinking, it's great, Pat, do the thing that you're passionate about. But I was also thinking, as I heard you speak, was passion must meet processing, and so a lot of times we get excited. Oh my God, God gave me a bug. Oh my God, God gave me an idea. Oh my God, let's do it. Until we start getting into the process, right? And the process, my grandma used to have to say it gets the butter from the duck, right? Because you hyped up on passion, like, oh my God, it's great. And it is. And you're going to need that passion at 2:00 in the morning when that Shopify going off and you're like, oh my God, I got to do this again. Yes, you do. You do, sis. Step into it, embrace it, but also know your passion has got to meet the process, baby.
It's got to be the process. And that goes hand in hand with what we just talked about that your services meeting your strategy. So, they are there together, and, the passion is going to allow you to push through in those hard moments. I shared on my Instagram yesterday, this company called Play Pits. They make deodorant for kids. They're based out of Atlanta, Black-owned business. homegirl's factory just burned down. I mean, to the ground. Like,
God.
ain't enough insurance in the world to cover that. I don't know. Y'all can go look at it. It's on her page. But, you know, the crazy thing is she just had one of the best years of her life. Target picked up her deodorant. So it's in shelves and Target and everywhere else. So now she's having to produce. And, you know, the craziest thing about the video is she had a smile on her face. You didn't see her laying out in the middle of the parking lot underneath the fire truck like I probably would be if that happened. But, you know, she went up there saying, y'all, I need y'all to cash at me this or whatever. She was like, I'm just excited to see what God is about to do in this situation. And so that's when you see that real passion. I could see it just burning through you know, on her face. So that's what's going to get you through. So but yeah, the next thing, you're your own boss. You know, you can't get fired. So, you know, that's the good thing about being an entrepreneur. You decide when you want to work and for how long you want to work. And you know, you still have to work though. So one thing that I've learned is, you know, you either can do it now or you can do it later.
But you gonna do it.
Do it. You're gonna have to do it. So it's just like, you know, you really have to use your time wisely. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people that are even transitioning to the office to work from home. I hear a lot of people saying, you know, you really have to be mindful of your time management and things like that, because you don't want to be up at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night because you were out at brunch in the middle of the day. So if there's a day that I know I have to attend something during the middle of the day, then either I have to put my time in, answer my emails, get up earlier, stay up later, but the work still has to get done.
And I think so too. When you're your own boss, you really do create the life that you want. And I like how you were saying that on the days when you have something to do in the middle of the day, you really have to create and craft that time earlier or later to do. But the thing about being your own boss too that I love is that it allows you to stretch into other areas and create other partnerships, networking. And so really being your own boss and stepping into who God has created you to be. You know, and so I love this part of entrepreneurship because it gives you the freedom to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And but like Lori said, do it now or do it later, because baby, you gonna do it or you gonna suffer. You gonna do it.
So you gonna do it.
And it's hard too. Like sometimes, because Lori, you ever had those moments like on Saturday morning and you just like, okay, I just need to sleep at like 9 or 10. But then you got 10,000 things that you still got to get done. And you have to, and I have had these moments where I grapple with it. I'm like, okay, you know.
I feel like you better get that work done. You better get that work done during the day. Because if you don't get that work done during the day, you know, or either during the weekday, things are even harder on the weekend. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about that, because I have those moments where I'm just like, okay, maybe I can sleep till 11, and then at work get to calling like, no, sis, get up. Get up right now. Take your coffee. Listen, take your coffee while you're walking, baby.
Take it while you're walking.
Yeah. You know, to have, you know, because it's so funny. We have these moments, right, where we're thinking like, I can have breakfast in bed. I made a post a couple of weeks ago. I was down in my kitchen. And I was like, oh, I would like to have a country ham on whole wheat toast and a cup of coffee. And I realized you got a Zoom call. Going upstairs hungry, baby. You be all right, girl. Just going upstairs. You're going to be all right.
It's like to think about how many times my stomach has been growling when I'm trying to get something done. So, but you just gotta fight through and get it done. So
right, because you're the boss.
Yeah,
you're the boss.
I'm gonna scroll through. I think we had a question up here earlier, and I'm trying to take them as we go through them, so it won't be so many tonight. Someone had asked about what's the best way to start a website or market your products. So I think, and I suggest this all the time, before starting your website, I think you need to be active on social media first. Because I feel like if you can't maintain your social media page and you're not posting consistently on social media, then you're probably not going to be doing what you're supposed to do on your website. So, so
Yeah.
I feel like, you need to really try to grow your social media following and then focus on your website after that, because you got to think, I mean, you know, there are a lot of companies out here that are thriving, doing sales on social media. And also, before a lot of people had websites, it's like, okay, I know it's a pain to inbox orders and things like that, or Cash App and do all of that, but I think you just need to focus on growing your clientele first, before.
Can I throw something in there too?
Yeah,
When you're
go
talking, I
ahead.
thought about if you have a product based business, you need to really vet your product.
Mm-hmm.
We don't understand the importance, and I'm gonna say this, and I mean this in the best Christian way I know how. Nobody wants to be selling anything that don't nobody want.
That's right.
You need to vet your product, and when I say vet your product,
Test it out on your
test
friends.
it out. Get out
Yeah.
on this and go to one of the things I love to do is these pop-up shops. Go
Uh-huh.
take your products to a pop-up shop. Are you moving product? Are people inquiring? Get engaged. You need to get on the streets and get information, right? Because that's gonna feed your social media, and that's gonna feed other people wanting buy-in from you. But please vet your product
Yes. 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 Please.
before you
Please
get
let
on.
somebody else taste your food
Right,
before,
right. Like,
before you buy the food truck.
yes, and you know how we be like, we want to take them cute pictures, and we want to show up, but baby, it is nothing worse than to sell something that don't nobody want. I'm
That's
telling
true.
you that.
That's
So
true.
when you're thinking about your website and launching your product-based business and what you're going to sell and how you're going to sell it, how's it going to look, how's it going to present, how
Mm-hmm.
you need to cater to the five senses,
Yeah.
vet your product. And the best place to vet those a lot of times are these mom and pop-up shops. I have been in Five Points and High Point with a table set up with candles. Booyah. We're gonna see if these bad boys gonna sell before we do anything else. So
That's true.
please vet your product.
That's true. Yeah, that's so true. So yeah, all of that, all of
Mhm.
that. Okay, so we're gonna jump back to the list here.
Mhm.
Okay, we kind of talked about being in control of your own schedule. Again, that can be your best friend or your worst enemy if you do
Yeah.
not know how to manage your time.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah. And then you have to have a flexible work-life balance. That's so important, because especially if you have kids, or if you have a husband or a boyfriend, or you take care of family members, because your business can't be everything. And I think last time I used the example about, think of yourself, you're juggling all of these balls. Some of your balls that you're juggling are glass balls, and if you drop them, they will break. Some
mm-hmm.
of them that you're juggling are rubber. If you drop them, they'll just bounce back up and you can catch them. So, you don't want to miss out on your family life, because that's a glass ball, and we don't want that to break. So you want to have that balance there. But some other things, like, okay, if you miss out on the gym a few times, or you don't make it, to girls' night out or whatever, like, that's something that, you can be flexible with. And if your friends really love you, they ain't going nowhere. So,
Right, right, right. And then and in my case, I chose not to have a relationship.
yeah.
Because my business, I don't like to use the term my business is my baby, because I have children
Hmm.
that are living and this business is not my baby. But I was so involved in building and setting the foundation that I
Hmm.
chose. I was like, I cannot be I can't be in a relationship, bro.
Yeah.
I
It's a
don't have
lot.
the mental capacity for it. So, that's one that hopefully that's not a thing that you have to think about, but that is something. There's been some events with my children, with my grandchildren, that I have just simply have not been able to go to, or there's been times I've worked all night so I could go to a baseball game, or so I
Yeah.
could go to a softball game. So it's very important to find that work-life balance, because what'll happen if you don't monitor your work-life balance, you'll see
Yeah.
your spirit balance being unbalanced too.
That's true.
So if you're
That's
not
true.
very careful, you will be out of alignment spiritually,
Yeah.
because your work-life balance is also out of balance. So be very
Yeah.
careful.
I see Rain just said that in the comments. The non-negotiables are important. So,
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
very important. And, you need to get that time management under control before you jump out into business, because
Mhm.
it's not going to get any better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Promise that. And
Yeah.
for some people, some people wait a little later in life, to jump out there and do things because they know they have a lot on their plate, when their children are younger. And there's nothing wrong with, still continuing to work
Mhm.
and get things in place where they need to be. So when that time comes, you'll just be ready to roll. So
Mhm.
if you want to, the things that you can do, why you can do them, like if you're at home or stuff like that, you don't always have to be out in the streets.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things that I love next on the list, there's no limit to how much money you can make in a day if you work hard. And so, I was on a panel last week, and one of the things that I said was, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to get out there and hunt for your food. Okay. So, but at the same time, you can have a good day. It's like fishing. You can have a good day, or, you can, if you don't get out of bed, of course, you're not going to get nothing. So,
Mhm.
so that, again, that talks about, kind of being self-motivated. But, when you are working on a job for the man, you know what that paycheck is going to be.
Mhm.
If the company has a great year, they might throw you a little bonus, but I guarantee
Mhm.
you your check isn't going to look like the person who owns the companies.
Mhm.
So just keeping that in mind, that there is the possibilities are endless on what your income could be. And that's a huge turn on for me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. And think too, with uh being able to create your own wealth and your own money, you get to be able to forecast, right?
yeah,
Holidays are coming up. You get to think like, okay, um, I found out in my business, months that begin with the letter J just are whack months. So I have learned to forecast for that. So, those are the times of my planning time. And so, but I'm still making money. So
yeah,
what happens when you're forecasting, when you realize that certain months or certain times of the year are slower for your business, those are the times that you ramp up for your next thing.
that's
So
true.
you can constantly have revenue. And then also with there's no limit to how much money you can make. You can begin to get creative with creating money streams inside of your business too.
That's true. That's so very true. So, an example of that would be, like, for those of you who are up here who know, I sell popcorn, somethingborrowed.com, shameless plug. But, a few Christmases ago, I said, well, actually, a few summers ago, I said, you know what? At Christmas, we need like a item that we can sell that's really going to carry us through the Christmas season and maybe even year round. And
Mm-hmm.
we did like a popcorn box that had like gourmet popcorn, all different flavors. It was a great Christmas gift that people could give. And then, a few years ago, people started giving them. I had a realtor that purchased like 200 boxes to send to all her clients
Wow.
that had purchased homes or things like that in the past 2 years. So,
Yeah.
you have to think of, like, what are these items that I can get that can carry me through this time and this season in my business. And, you have to know which months are going to be better than others. And I strongly encourage you, if you are thinking about leaving your job, you need to know what a full year looks like in your business cycle before you leave your job.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you decide to step out when things are great and that's, your money making season, you're not really thinking about how it's going to look when, it might be a slower season. So, like I said, I strongly encourage you to look and see how things are going to look all year round before you say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm gonna leave my job. You need to see, like she said, forecasting. You need to look at that
Mm-hmm.
first.
And I think too, it also one of the things one of the most valuable lessons I've had to learn, especially these last 6 months, is I have a full-time job and I'm also an entrepreneur, but what kind of life do I want to live?
Yeah.
Right? Do I want to continue working 16, 17 hours a day, or do I want to be able to have a work-life balance and step back from some things? So when you're looking at your business and looking at your entrepreneurship journey, also think about what kind of life do I want to have? What kind of life do I want to lead? You know, there's a lot of facets, and we don't ever want you to think, oh my God, I shouldn't be an entrepreneur. If this is your gift and your calling, you should step fully into it. And so we're just trying to make sure that you don't see social media and think, oh my God, it's gonna be great, baby. It's
Yeah.
gonna be tears too.
don't let it fool you. Because it's a whole lot of people sitting on the gram that got part-time and full-time jobs that's helping them get through. And
Yes.
hey.
Yeah.
So
And you
yeah.
got to understand too that I had a conversation with a group of women yesterday, and I told them everybody is not built for entrepreneurship, and that's fine. You know, some people just want to do, you know, something part-time to additionally supplement their income, and that's fine. However you find your place in this journey, it's okay. You know, just know that your journey is yours, and it's what you create, it's what you make. And that's one of the things I think with the School of Business is being able to help you to see that you can create whatever you want.
Yeah. Yep. That's so true. Yeah. So moving on, opportunities for growth and development, creating your own path. And I think, we just kind of talked about that a little bit more. Like, one of the things that I did the year I decided to quit my job, I spent a whole year saying that I was just going to go out and hit the streets and knock on doors and cold call and just grow my business. And so, and literally that year, I took that year and I planted seeds in the ground, and I'm still eating from the crop of that year, like seriously. So, I mean, you're going to have to do that one way or another. And for me, it was just too much having to try to balance out, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, and be able to also grow those opportunities, because a lot of the opportunities that you want to grow may be at 9 to 5, 8 to 5 businesses, and you can't do all that on a lunch break.
Right.
Right. So it's just like, really taking that time to grow those opportunities. They say all the time, you have to network to increase your net worth. And that is so true. That's so networking can get you a long way. And making those opportunities and growing your business, but it takes time. So you have to have that time to do that. And being an entrepreneur, you have the time to do that.
And the opportunities for growth and development, sow into yourself. Find you a mentor and pay them people if they require for you to pay them.
That's right.
Because that's part of your growth and development. Because if somebody, I have 3 business mentors. Let me tell you, they have kept me from walking into so many potholes in the street because they already know the way.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm paying them for their time and expertise, because I really don't think it's fair to ask somebody to give you something that they've cried and prayed and bought paid classes and walked the floor for.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I'm saying to you is that part of the opportunities for growth and development is that it's on you. You're going to have to find somebody doing something that you want to do and reach out to them. There's so many, I have found because I'm a social worker, so I didn't come from a business aspect, right? And so I have found so many business courses, so many business classes, because this, at the end of the day, is your business. And so you have to growth and development. Let me tell you, keep learning, keep growing, keep stretching.
Yeah. Yep. And it's I was talking to one of my friends today, and it's nothing for her to drop $1,200 to go to a course and learn from someone. And when I say nothing, it's not that financially it's not like ouch, because whether I'm spending $1,200 on mortgage or in Target, it's still gonna hurt. But the fact is you can use that to turn it around and grow your business. We spend, if you add up on what we spend on bundles and wax and then handbags and
you get that money back too, Lori.
Yeah, you tax write-off.
Right, because that knowledge that they're going to drop to you in there, because first of all, you're getting access to a place you wouldn't normally have access to.
That's true.
And then you're getting access to knowledge and information that you can't find on YouTube. Trust me, I already looked over there. It ain't over there. And then you're going to get that money back. I know sometimes it seems like, oh my God, I can't pay $1,000 for this course, or, oh my God, listen, do it on Afterpay or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is so important for you to sow into growth and development opportunities, because here's the thing. A lot of, they know where you're trying to get to, right?
They
And
do.
they know the pitfalls. I have a business mentor, so we do wholesale. My Fortunately, to God be the glory, we've been able to create several streams of income within Black Girl Candle Company, right? And so one of those is wholesale. So I remember I got my first wholesale with this company, and I had to call my mentor and say, "Oh my God, what am I supposed to do?" And she took my call and said, "Okay, this is what you do. I'm gonna send you everything, do everything on the list, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna be fine." But had I not already been taken, have
You had
not already
access.
been
You had
have
that
her my
access. Yeah.
right. She
Yeah.
would have been looking at the phone like, "Girl, bye,"
Yeah.
or I'm gonna tell you just one or two things to do, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you everything to do. And
Yeah.
so that even though there was a cost attached to it, I've made that money back 100-fold.
Yep.
So
That's so
don't look
true.
at it as being restrictive. Look at it as an investment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody just said in the comments they've spent $10,000 in their coach and it was worth it, and so much more. And it's a tax write-off. So yeah,
That's it,
you
right.
got to be willing to make that investment in yourself. And like you just said, there are a lot of programs out here where there's a conference that I saw that I wanted to attend in February, and they started a whole year of, if you want to go to this conference, you can start making payments.
Yes.
So if you really want to do something,
Mhm.
in most cases, a lot of these speakers or business mentors have made it affordable for people to be able to go and invest in themselves.
Yeah.
And so, we kind of talked about your earning, what you can make as much as you want. You
Mhm.
can kind of determine what you're doing, and you have, the chance to make bold and loud choices.
Mhm.
So you don't have to. One of the things that used to bother me the most about working full time is having to hide my business.
Mhm.
And having to make myself small. And so, I remember the Yes Weekly did an ad on my husband and I. We opened up our shop, and a couple of my coworkers had seen it, and I just wanted to ball up and just die because I didn't want people in my business. Like, you ain't coming to buy nothing, so
Right.
why you all in my. So, but I sit back and think about that, and I'm just like, man, like I couldn't even enjoy that moment
Mhm.
because I was so just like, oh man, I don't really want to talk about it. I'm snatching the newspapers off in front of the building. So yeah, so it's just really like you can't even like do your business. And for me, it had always been something that chased me. Even if I switched my job, I knew it was only gonna be a month or a year or whatever before people start to find out about it. And so one of the things that I enjoyed about, just leaving my job was being able, if Fox 8 called me and they need me to do an interview at 3 o'clock, I won't be
Mhm.
up there. Hey, I don't have to be like, oh, well, when is this gonna air?
Right.
Because when is this gonna air? Because I don't want them seeing me here and I'm supposed to be here.
Yes.
So you can really just like come out of the closet of your business
Mhm.
and just do it. It opens the door to so many other opportunities because you're free to do that.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's that.
Can, can we talk about the bold, loud choices,
Yes.
and the freedom of entrepreneurship, because it allows you to partner with community-based organizations. It allows you to. One of the things I love to do is partner with other organizations doing something. So having the freedom of having my own business, I can send candles, I can send boxes, I can donate stuff, and creating, making those loud, bold choices of
Mhm.
the organizations that I want to bring my business to alignment with. Um, and that too broadens your foundation, and it broadens your base, because when you're making those loud, bold choices, you're saying, okay, my business would align with this business, and we partner and do something together. I'm going to get some of their audience, they're going to get some of mine, and we're both going to multiply together. So think about your loud, bold choices, like literally think about a white wall and throwing paint on there. What kind of loud, broad paint strokes and ideas can you pull out of your business?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, it's you can do so much more when you don't have those limits on you. Like
Mhm.
seriously. So that's just that to me is the most beautiful part about being an entrepreneur is you don't have anybody, you don't have to look over your shoulder and wonder
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, I'm doing this. Is this gonna affect something over here?
yeah.
So yeah, so and just moving on to the pros. I am not my business. So and it's really we're talking about, really kind of separating yourself here too. So, I think one of the last courses I taught for Sister Circle University was just talking about when you start feeling depressed in your business, and one of the things you have to remember is even if I seemingly am failing in my business life, it doesn't mean that I'm a failure in my actual life, because
Mhm.
for you to take something that was nothing and turn it into something, that's going to take some time anyway.
Mhm.
So you have to start out from the beginning knowing that, you're going to have to separate your business from yourself, and
Mhm.
know that, if there's a mistake that you make in your business, not to take it personal, and that doesn't reflect on you as a person and your worth. So
Mhm.
yeah.
You know what? And that was a painful lesson
Hmm.
that I had to learn because we grew so quickly and we scaled so quickly. I felt like I was Black Girl Candle Company.
Hmm.
And it got so bad where I began to feel like people were not buying candles, but they were buying pieces of me. And so I had to learn how to really separate what I do from who I am. And that's one of the things, one of the big lessons you're going to have to learn is, who are you? You are not your business.
Yeah.
And sometimes that what it's going to require is for you to sit down and get quiet and think about who you are as a person, not just as a business. Because it was very painful for me. I
Yeah.
mean, it was sleepless nights, very painful, because if something didn't go off right, or if a product I launched didn't do as well as I wanted it to, or something like that, then I internalized all of that. And so I had to really sever the cord between me and Black Girl Candle Company. I am not
Yeah.
my business. I love y'all. We can hang out, we can kiki it up, but I am not. I am not Black Girl Candle Company.
And I see Grace's comment here talking about the insurance business. Girl, let me tell you, you give me about 3 more years and I'm gonna get my insurance license, because everybody, like she said, you eventually need so that's, yeah, if somebody tries to talk junk about your business and say
Mhm.
that's not a real business, you tell them that when it's time for them to need you for some insurance. You remind them of that, because
Right.
that is a real business, and you are valid. So
And stunt
don't.
on them, Grace. Stunt on them.
Yeah, go ahead,
Listen,
start
the
on.
best
I know
revenge.
some insurance people that are doing really good, like
Right.
really good. So yeah.
uh Evangelist Beyonce said the best revenge is to get your paper. um
Just your
so
paper.
listen, stunt on them, sis,
Yeah.
because this is the other thing too. You got to recognize and realize that you know that it's a business, and sometimes people just be talking out of ignorance. They don't know. They listen to
They
what.
probably don't even have insurance. The
Thank
people,
you.
the people who are talking at it. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. I have a couple of insurance policies, and if don't nothing else get paid, that
Right.
insurance should go get paid. Okay. You let something borrow burn down. Y'all
Right.
gonna see me pull up in a Maybach or something,
Come
because
through. You
I
better
want
come
all the
through.
insurance. I got policies on policies on
Right.
policies.
Right.
So, and I did
Hmm.
not set the fire if it does burn down. So if somebody try to record this. Let me stop. But yeah, just keep on moving. Don't even worry about that, Grace. And then
Mhm.
Taisha, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but she said, how do you select a good supplier? What do you think about overseas suppliers? Cassandra, I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Yeah, so I there's a couple things you can do. So one of them, I go through Alibaba, right? There's a whole little checklist you need to go through, but vet them, and then vet them again. Even there's a certain way that you should only pay.
Yeah.
Like there's like 7 or 8 payment options, but there's only like two ways that you need to be paying through that. And this is what I would do. I have used overseas vendors. The only thing is, of course, it takes a while for it to get here, but I haven't had any issues. I've been very blessed, because my mentor kind of was like, deal with this company, and this company. And so I think it's great. I think it's awesome. And if you get a good vendor, they will help you with other stuff. Like, just say, you may start off with one product, but then as your business grows, you may see that you need to add an additional product. So they will absolutely help you to get those other products and those additional things. So yeah, absolutely do it.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, COVID-19 and the pandemic slowed a lot of businesses down because their stuff was stuck on a boat or overseas or whatever. So,
Yes.
not trying to say overseas, shipping or
Mhm.
vendors are a bad thing, but just, being able to kind of keep your stuff in stock that you really need.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to move on to the cons because time is just moving so
Oh my
fast.
goodness.
But so the first one is, one of the cons of entrepreneurship is you are responsible for everything, and this can be stressful at times. And so and so this is so true because it's just like, I think people say the difference between renting a house and buying a house. Of course, if you're renting a house and something breaks, you can call your landlord to fix it.
Mhm.
In entrepreneur life, there is no landlord that can come fix stuff. You are everything.
Mhm.
So if you are the marketing department and you are, the maintenance team,
Yeah.
you are everything. So,
Yes.
really keeping in mind that before you jump out there, are you ready to be everything? and
And
if,
listen,
and if
when
not,
she
can you
say
outsource some
everything,
stuff too? So,
listen,
yeah.
and when she say everything, you are responsible for every single thing. Even the stuff you didn't do, you're responsible for that too. You're responsible for the Kool-Aid not being sweet. I'm telling you, you are responsible
Everything.
for everything. And so that means you have to develop a thick outer skin.
Yeah,
Because even things that don't have nothing to do with you will become your fault. So
they
you
will.
have to
They
learn how to
will.
manage that.
Yeah. And leading into the next one, your workload can get heavy until you are able to hire help. And that's real. Like, I think I shared uh, on our call last time that, there were times where I would take a pack and play in my shop with me, and I'd have to put
Mhm.
my son in the pack and play while I would try to get stuff done because, like, I couldn't afford to have somebody watching him while I'm over here and I'm not making money.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so just really keeping in mind, like, it's gonna be heavy till you can hire work. I think about help. I think about, um, the company that I use for house cleaning and stuff like that, there was, one day where her help couldn't come and she still showed up and she was like, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, might take me a little bit longer, but I'm here and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna do just as good a job. So, you're gonna have days like that where you still have to show up, even if you don't have help.
Mhm.
And then I think you need to prepare. You always prepare as if anything could happen or your help could call in or you could get overwhelmed or whatever. So, just think about that. You might not be able to hire. I might need to get me a Canva account so I can do some
Mhm.
graphics until I'm able to hire somebody to do that.
Mhm.
I might need to trade in my two-seater and get me something that I can fit stuff in because I have to travel and set up and vend, and I might
Mhm.
have to downgrade because of that. So just thinking about all of those decisions that you have to make for your business.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's freedom too. So I look at hiring people as buying my freedom. I do, like, because think about it in terms of this too, right? And I know we're not all at the same place, but we're gonna get there.
We're gonna
But
get there.
sometimes hire out the stuff that kills your creativity.
Woo!
If you
Woo!
know that making graphics on Canva just makes your whole day crack out, baby, go to, what is it, Fiverr or
Fiverr. Go ahead and get you a
whoever.
old $10
Right,
flyer.
right, and let them do it. Go to Etsy, honey, and get you a template and just call it a day. Because I have found out, like, I had to get an admin because I was about to crack completely up. And so it was worth it to me
Mm-hmm.
to hire, because I can't, because I can't do all the things anyway. And
Mm-mm.
so do know that when it's time to hire, don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid. Just go ahead and do it. Especially, and I always say the first thing you should hire for is that, because you are the bottleneck in your business. You know that, right? You the problem. Okay, sis? I'm just going to tell you, you the problem. So for me, one of the first things I had to do was look at the things that sap my creativity, make me tired, take up all my time, and
Yes.
those are the positions I hired for first.
Yes.
I was like,
Hire
Chad,
delegate.
I can't do it.
And let me say this too. So, you have to think about this. If the Lord has given you a vision and a dream and a strategy on how to execute that, you have a gift.
Mhm.
And to a certain extent, you have to protect that gift. And like she just said, if stuff is zapping your energy and you can't create, your company, your business isn't going to grow.
Mhm.
So, with that, you're going to have to outsource some things so you're able to focus on creating those opportunities and planting those seeds and getting out there and making those connections that you need to make. So, you think about, like, I remember at one point in time, this hairdresser that I used to go to back home, she got a shampoo girl. And I was just like thinking to myself, like, how lazy is that? Like, you
Yeah.
ain't got it take 10
Mhm.
minutes to shampoo some hair. You ain't got time to shampoo no hair.
Mhm.
But the older I got, the more I began to understand that if she's a hair artist or stylist,
Mhm.
anybody can wash hair. You can get you a girl from college, intern, 10-year-old,
Mhm.
anybody can shampoo some hair.
Yes.
But your job, your skill set is to create these, at the time, French rolls and finger waves. That was
Mhm.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so you have to think about it like that. You have to protect the gift and outsource what you can, because especially if you're able to, with your gift, make enough money, if you're unbothered, to be able to produce, and then
Mhm.
you can hire somebody to do some of the smaller tasks. Like if you make shirts or something, if somebody's doing the ironing for you, or the
Yeah.
screen printing or whatever, so you can work on creating designs and going out and securing more business. So really just think about it that way, when it comes time to hire help.
Can
And
because I feel
yeah,
strongly led to say this.
yeah.
Um, your procrastination is really your fear.
Mm,
So the
mm,
reason that you haven't hired anybody, or you haven't tried to really scale your business and grow your business, the procrastination that you're using, it's really fear.
yeah,
And so once you just really take that, that's why it's not going the way you think it should go, sis.
yeah,
The way God,
yeah.
Jesus has
Come
ordained
on
for it
now.
to go. Oh
Robosha.
God, Jesus. Is because that spirit of procrastination that has launched itself and attacked you, baby, it's all wrapped up around your lungs. It's like it's
Yeah,
got roots. It's all wrapped up. And here's the thing: on the other side of that is the blessing.
yeah,
So procrastination is standing between what God has for you and your divine destiny.
yeah.
So stop it. And I know that we use this, well, I can't afford to hire nobody. I can't afford to do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And I'll say this too. If you are meant to be doing what you're doing, and I say this is so real, the Lord will send you who you need.
Girl,
And the Lord will send you who you need. And then two, on top of that, I remember, I hired somebody a couple years ago, and I was just like, look, I can't afford to pay you but X, Y, and Z. And I was even embarrassed of what that amount was.
mhm,
And they were like, it's okay.
mhm,
That's fine. I know you're growing. I believe in what you're doing. I want to stick with you. I want to learn,
yeah,
all of that. And it's just like, you know what? Like, now she's on full time. You know what I'm just saying?
yeah,
So it's just like, you know, really trust the process. Like, don't
mhm,
be afraid. Like you said, that fear, that procrastination, will keep you locked in a bubble, and you won't be able to do anything. If you have to get an intern, get an
good
intern.
one, yes,
I
the
mean,
truth.
we are in, even for those of you who aren't in Greensboro, but for those of you who are, we are smack dab in the middle of a college town, 5, 6, 7 colleges that have
Mhm,
program interns that need, jobs
yeah,
for the summer or whatever it might be. So,
yeah,
um,
yes.
So yeah, so
Woo.
that's that.
You know, and the thing too is, you can't be afraid doing this. Now you're going to be afraid, right? But you don't have to show up afraid.
Right.
Okay. You can walk it out, sis. And then you have us here in the School of Business to reach out to and say, listen, I don't know how to do this. I'm scared. I feel like is stifling me. You have us. That's what the School of Business is here for. And the thing about it is we already know. We have been there. We
Yeah,
trust me. Lori and I and Keisha, all of us have showed up on a stage afraid, but you couldn't tell it.
that's right. That's
You couldn't
right.
tell it because we have made a commitment to our businesses and to ourselves that even though we may be shaking in our boots and deathly afraid of the outcome, we are going to walk in every single thing that God has given us. And so that's what you got to understand. God already gave you the gift. He gave you the passion for it.
That's it. And I
So
saw a
listen to it.
picture the other day, and I'm gonna probably post it next week. But
Mhm.
it was like a 20-something-year-old woman, and she was saying, "I'm not ready yet."
Mm.
Then it was a 40-something-year-old woman, same girl, same woman, "I'm not ready yet."
Mm-hmm.
Then they show her in like with a walker, hunched over, gray hair, "I'm still not ready yet." Then the next one was like a casket, and it said, "I'm not
Mm-hmm.
ready yet." So, you really want to. You hear the phrase, "You want to die empty." Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, out of all the people in the world, the Lord gave me this idea, and I'm going to execute it, and I'm going to just do everything I can do, and I want to be the best that I can be, and just take it to the top. So I don't want him looking at me like, "I gave you these talents, and what did you do with them?"
Yeah.
So yes, I think that kind of even covers the next thing, being
Mm-hmm.
self-motivated and determined. Like she just said, I'm determined that
Lord,
I'm going
I'm
to do what I
sorry
got
because
to do. Uh-huh.
I declare the Lord be Jesus, Lord. Okay, here's the other thing. You've been asking and praying and seeking God for your family to come out of poverty. He's going to use you, sis. Okay, you may be the one that God is going to put the gift in that's going to change the whole trajectory financially of your family. So don't stop. I don't know. I don't. It's probably for me too. I don't know who that's for,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you are the key. Okay, you are the key. You know how God sent Jesus? Hey, Jesus sent you.
All
You the
right.
key.
All right.
You the
I
key.
love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I promise y'all we're gonna move through these next couple things because we want to leave some room for question and answer. The next thing, you might not always have consistency of pay. We kind of talked about that with forecasting, really seeing how your business does in all seasons before you decide, what you're gonna do as far as leaving your current situation, or, it again. I started my business and worked a full-time job for 4 or 5 years. Still, because it's just like, and use some of that money to hire help so I could be in both places at the same time. So, really like understand you might not always have that consistency of pay. So plan, do what you can. Don't jump out there if you aren't financially ready yet, because, and I'll tell you this, because y'all, I'm transparent. The Lord told me that we were supposed to have a storefront. And I was like, Lord, if it's the case, we do it. And I took my husband's credit card and swiped that mug for the deposit, $1,000 deposit. And he fussed me out good for that. But I was like, trust me, I got this. We're gonna make it. So it's so funny. We laugh at it now, 10 years later. But it's just like, we talked about bold, loud choices. Okay, yeah, ladies, if you married now, don't go swiping your husband's credit card without permission. But sometimes you just what you know what I'm saying. And I knew that if it didn't work, I would pay it back regardless, one way or another. But I just knew, like, in some situations they are too good to be true. And so you have to, like, when the Lord puts that in your spirit, jump. I need to go ahead and invest in this course. Let me swipe this credit card, invest in this course. I need to buy this piece of machinery for my business, like whatever it is. I ain't saying take out a second mortgage on your house, but like, some things you're gonna have to make that bold, loud choice, and you might not always have the pay to go with it, but you really gotta, pray on those things and always just, keep your eyes open for stuff like that. So, next thing, entrepreneurship might be lonely at sometimes. Cassandra, what you got for me?
You know what? And it is. And it is, but you got to make that choice. Like, sure, Bob, I'd love to go to dinner, but I gotta go and make the candles. Like,
right. And not only that, I don't have the money for it.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, no, truth be told, like literally, like a week ago, I paid shop rent and mortgage, like and private school tuition. Right. Don't nobody ask me for nothing right now.
Exactly. And I also think about it too, like with ministry being a lonely walk, because people are not going to understand you, and it's okay because God gave the vision to you. He didn't give the Pookie man and fat them. He gave it to you, so it is going to be a lonely walk. Okay.
Yeah. So know that. Right. And but the thing is. And I said this the other day on the panel I was on, find you some girl bosses and y'all work that thing out together. Literally one of my business besties, we text all day, every day about just like, girl, what you think about this? Or let me tell you what my client did today or whatever, because she just gets it and she gets me, and we vibe off each other, we tell each other about business ideas. And so find you a business bestie that you can trust, because you don't want nobody out there telling you ideas before you're ready yet. But it's that person that you don't have to be out here in the world alone of business, and you can have somebody that's there in the trenches with you. Or it doesn't even necessarily have to be somebody that's on the same level as you. Could be somebody who has been in business longer than you, and it's kind of like a bestie / mentee mentor relationship. So definitely it's lonely, but it's not lonely. It doesn't have to be lonely if you can find somebody to be in that with you. And we talked about earlier separating who you are from what you do. Somebody even left some really great comments about that earlier. And then failures, lessons, and stress. So again, learning how to manage that stress when it comes, because it's going to come, trying to be a step ahead of that stress when it comes. And then I always say you're not a failure, or you're only a failure if you didn't learn from your mistake. So, constantly, if you're still got, air in your lungs and your business is still going, you're going to have failures. You are. I was talking to somebody the other day, they've been in business maybe 25 years and they just had a major failure, but they learned from it and take notes, like literally take notes of things that go wrong when they go wrong, so you can look back on it. Keep like a diary for your business.
Yes.
Yeah, keep a diary for your business, because I guarantee you, we had, when I told you about the pop boxes that we launched for Christmas, the first year we launched them was a hot mess. And thankfully, when we launched them, that was the year that the mail got messed up. And like, I could blame a lot of my business failures on the mail that year, because I mean, a lot of them were, but I learned so much that year. And I had my business Bible, my business journal, my diary, where I wrote, okay, next year you need to order your product in July. You know what I'm saying? Because they got stuck on the slow boat from China, and I was just like, people were asking for stuff, and I was waiting. I literally was waiting for the FedEx guy to come. I had to drive to Charlotte to pick up some stuff one day, and I was like, never again. So I started ordering product in July, and then also, getting more hands to help, because I thought, or getting my labels pre-printed so I don't have to write them by hand. So I documented every failure that I had that year. So the next year, I'm sitting here home chilling with my hot cocoa in my hand, looking at tracking numbers, because all my stuff was out 2 weeks before.
Yes.
So just think about all those things, your failures, turn them into lessons. And we have a couple of minutes. We're going to open up the floor for questions. If you asked a question earlier in the chat and we missed it, we apologize. But now is your chance to ask those questions if you have them. And we will try to go back through as well if there was something that somebody asked that we missed. But if you have a question, please ask it in the comments. And I'm scrolling back up just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Okay.
This is your time to ask a question if you have one. I answered the one about the supplier. Well, we answered the one about the supplier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to go back up through really quick to see if we missed anybody.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, somebody asked about developing Tori. Somebody, I'm sorry, I washed my hair right before I got on, and y'all getting, I don't look like the flyer tonight, y'all. So if you're getting up here expecting you gonna see the flyer or not tonight, my ponytail is hanging up in my closet. So okay. What's a strategic way to be an entrepreneur as a stay-at-home mom with no income? Okay. So Mania Phillips, I hope I did not mess up your name, but a strategic way to be an entrepreneur as a stay-at-home mom with no income. So I would say for this, of course, you are taking advantage of online sales, I would imagine, because you can't really leave the house. You got the little ones there. I have suggested, I don't know if you already have a business in mind or you're just looking to make some additional income on the side. If you are just looking to make some additional income on the side, I feel like, and I know a lot of people might turn their nose up on this, but I think there are some good multi-level marketing companies out there still. I have some friends who are doing really good with like some makeup lines. I'm not gonna call any out, but some of the makeup lines that you can sell, some skincare products that you can sell. So it just really depends on, because with that, you really are able to grow your business from your house, through Zoom or cold calling or setting up. My mom was on a call the other night with somebody, going over their new skincare line, and you're able to easily make a purchase by going to a website to do that. So there are, I would say definitely looking into that. But if you have your own business, transitioning to online sales would be great. Finding something that you can sell online, or either even providing a service. I knew a mom that had kids, and she decided to start keeping other kids with her kids for some additional income as well. I mean, you're at home anyways, and you're playing with your kids, so what is it to take on maybe 2 additional children in your home if you're able to do that on like a part-time basis? So that's just some ideas there. Yes, Thrive has been wonderful for my nutrition and weekly. Yeah. So I mean, there are some people out here doing it. Even with, I know somebody mentioned like earlier, we were talking about insurance companies. There are some MLM insurance companies out there that will pay for you to get your license and everything else. So definitely look into that. Let's see here. Is a grant or funds? Hold on, wait. Is that a question, or somebody asked something about grants? Did I miss it? Oh, is there a website for government grants? So I think that's really pertaining to what industry you're in too. I have a friend who has a dance studio. She posted on Facebook the other week that she thinks she raised somewhere around $150,000 just this year in grants. So there are some state things on the state level and on the national level too for grants, but a lot of it can be found, believe it or not, on Google or through I know in Greensboro they just opened up the Center for Women Entrepreneurship. There's like the Nestbomb Center here in Greensboro. So really looking into whatever city that you live in, whatever business development resources they have there, a lot of times they will have grants that are available for you. But like we mentioned before, make sure your affairs are in order as it pertains to your business license or having your taxes up to date, because there were a whole lot of people whose feelings got hurt during COVID because they could not get grants because they didn't pay taxes the year before. They didn't
Mhm.
file their taxes the year before. So that excluded a lot of people from getting grants during COVID. So just make sure that you have your stuff together. Um, Tori said getting Hub certified. Yes,
Yes.
Hub certified. Do that.
Mhm.
That helps you get grants. Yeah, I see. There's a lot of little secrets and loopholes that we just don't know about, especially as people of color. So, even doing what I do, being a Hub certified business, definitely helps. So please Google that.
Mhm.
Um, Trade lines and business bank accounts. Yes, and of course, to set up a business bank account, in most cases you have to have your LLC to do that. So
Mhm.
just making sure that you have everything that you need for that. Um, was there any more questions that I missed? Because we have about 3 more minutes and we're going to head off. I think I saw the questions about grants, stuff like that. Cassandra, did you see anything that we missed?
Don't.
Okay. Okay. Well, there was the survey posted for tonight, the link for the survey. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If there is something that you would like to see us discuss in the future, you definitely can fill that out on the survey. And for those of you who would like to reach out to Cassandra and I separately on Instagram, my name is Lori Pogue. That's LORIPOAG. You can just shoot me a message up there. And then as far as business website is glorifiedmarketing.com, and business website, other business website, somethingborrowed.com. And Cassandra, if you give your business information too.
Sure. I on Facebook, Instagram, Black Girl Candle Company, TikTok, Black Girl Candle Company. Our website, of course, is blackgirlcandlecompany.com. Or you can find me on Facebook under Cassandra Durham, but you hit Black Girl Candle Company because I have an admin and she's gonna answer you. But
Yes, you outsource. Use the admin. We
yeah.
stand for the admin, y'all. We're using the admin. Okay, well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you next time. Oh, Keisha, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Wonderful. Thank you for that phenomenal information. I'm like the sisters in the comments. I don't know about y'all, but I have pages and pages of notes. So thank you guys so much for just sharing those nuggets that we can apply and put into place. Ladies, there's no excuse. We have the keys to the success. So if we take what we learned today and apply them, so thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the information. We're just going to remind you to show your $5 seed to the sister circle. You can cash app it. It helps us to continue to provide classes like this so that we can make sure that our women are set up for success. So please, if you have not sown your $5 seed, please do so. $ Sister Circle Inc. And that just helps us to continue to provide classes like this, that are worth so much more. So let's sow that seed tonight. Well, let's just say a quick prayer. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we just thank you, God, for the word that went forth today. God, we pronounce blessings over each entrepreneur. We come against the spirit of fear. We pray that they will be success going in and coming out. God, we thank you for the extraordinary ideas that will come forth. We thank you for the wisdom to do business well. And we thank you, God, that success shall be our portion. We thank you now, God, that we are getting ready to move into territory. We will be bold and unafraid. We will be wise and not foolish. And we will possess the land that you have promised for each and every one of us. God, we thank you for the word that went forth today. Bless us now in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. We thank God for Circle Apostle and Circle Pastor for providing opportunities like this. So don't forget to do the survey, and we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good evening.